Some local suits were rocking out at the Carnegie last night in Covington, and they'll be back at it next Saturday night. Suits That Rock is the brainchild of a group of business leaders who wanted to show off their musical chops, have fun, and raise money for a good cause. In the last 12 years, Suits That Rock has racked up more than $1 million in donations for the Carnegie's arts education programs for thousands of area school kids, many of them low income, on both sides of the Ohio River. One of the founders is with us this morning. John Damasco joins Business Courier publisher Jamie Smith in the studio. Gentlemen.
Thanks, Kelly. John, thanks for being here.
Thank you for asking.
So the first thing I'm going to say is it's a lie that accountants can't have fun.
Oh, absolutely. It can be done, and we do a lot of it.
So you spent your first part of your career in accounting.
I did.
And your second act, or maybe your third act after that, you guys decided to have some fun. Talk about how this came to be.
Well, I guess it's probably unfair to say that my first job was accounting, because my first job was playing in a rock band in the 60s, which is where all this comes from.
Okay.
That is not an unusual story among people who are in industry and own businesses, run businesses. A lot of musicians there. And I was talking to Kevin Canifax. I'd done some music with Greg Shoemate before that. And we all had seen the looks on people's faces when they see the chairman of their board or the president of their company playing rock music and not acting like the president of their company. And we thought it would be fun to have an hour within some charity's event to do maybe 10, 12 songs and get that result, also raise some money for a charity. And so we embarked on trying to make that happen and talked to a lot of charities, thought it was a great idea, who never returned my call when I would call back.
So when you started this, it was not necessarily to raise money for people. I mean, that was a part of it, but right. You just thought it would be more to have fun and to get you guys to kind of get this out of your system, right?
Absolutely. It took a few years for us to realize our main mission was to raise money because we were just having so much fun that we just thought it'd be a one-year thing. This would be a lark, and so many people enjoyed it. And honestly, in reverse engineering the whole process, we were pretty blind not to see that this was going to take off, because it's such a win-win-win. The audience has the time of their lives. The people on stage certainly have the time of their lives. And we've raised all this money for arts education for the kids in the Carnegie programs. Yeah. And they've ramped up their work from 5,000 hours a year before Suits That Rock started to 80,000 hours a year. Wow. So,
and that's an area. I just listened to your podcast the other day. You did a podcast with the Talent Magnet Institute. Great podcast, by the way.
Thank you.
But you talked about this kind of came about right at a time that whether it's state funding or national funding for the arts was getting taken away or
Absolutely.
Shrinking. So this really helped fit that bill too.
Yeah, arts was one of the first things to fall out of curricula that were budget pressed. Yeah. So the timing was great. Once again, wasn't any great vision that we looked at each other and said, boy, the timing's good to get some money into the arts. It just kind of happened.
Worked out. Now, the other thing I heard on the podcast I thought was really interesting, like the first year you guys did this, I think you guys did like a 3-hour act or something.
It was 4 hours.
Okay.
I played bass on every song.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how I did that. It'd kill me now.
And as the process or as the time has gone on, more and more people are getting into the act. And it's just, I think you said, not one song, not 2 songs in a row is there the same people on the stage.
That's exactly right. And that was a direct outgrowth of a lot of requests we got from the musicians after the first year that, you know, I've never played with so-and-so. I'd love to play in a song with him or her. Mm-hmm. And so it became obvious that everybody wanted to cross-pollinate, and so we do have a lot of movement up on stage in between
incredible.
Songs.
So how many CEOs, leaders, board chairs, how many people are we talking that actually perform?
There are 43 people who, wow. And we've had years where we've had over 50. And that's a little tough to logistically deal with, but But it's so much fun. The people are what brings me back every year. It's a new puzzle every year to organize and to solve. We start the year with no theme, no set list. We have a core group of people that come back, but we bring in 7 or 8 or 9 guest suits every year, which brings in a whole new ingredient into the process, and it's just loads of fun.
Yeah, I think a few years ago, a friend of mine, Jonna Reeder, did maybe a set, didn't she?
Oh, Jonna was the guest suit of all times.
I can see that.
She blew everybody away. She talked to Katy Perry's costume maker and had her reproduce the costume from California Girls and wore it on stage. She was a showstopper.
Well, congratulations for a great show last night. Good luck next weekend with that show.
Thank you.
And thanks for doing what you guys do.
Thank you. Thanks
All
for
right.
inviting me today.